So what we're going to do now is we need to water. I need to work on my irrigation system too, but some of these plants I don't want to just like flood with water as far as the irrigation system goes, especially like it's an overhead system. So the roses, I really don't need to flood them with water. I need to, especially the leaves, because they do have black spot right now. So I want to make sure that that goes away before I'm just like flooding things with water. So here we're going to water this morning pretty much everything, and yeah, that's what I'm watering, pretty much everything. Here, let me turn this off. So I'm going over here first. I'm going to water my Japanese maples and my oxydentalus over there. Hard to see. I did dig that up this year from the side. There was like lots of vines and stuff growing around it, so I did dig that up from the side there. And so yeah, so watering this morning everything. And then I have this hydrangea that I bought from Lowe's this year. The hydrangea here was on discount, like on clearance, and so it's actually done a fairly good job of recovering, but I don't expect it to do a lot of recovering this year. Next year will be a better year for that. And then you see back here, I don't know what to do with this. If you guys have suggestions, let me know what you would do with this little thing right here, because I don't have a clue here. So I have my hostas here, and look, this hosta, brand new. All of these are brand new. And this one's about to flower, so I'm really excited about that. And these hydrangeas I dug up from a different area in the yard that got zero sunlight, so I've never seen these flower or do anything, so I'm excited to see them flower. And they are recuperating quite well from digging them up. So just, by the way, most of the stuff that I buy, like out here, like the chairs, all of that kinds of stuff, I get from estate sales for super cheap. Like pretty much all of this stuff I got from an estate sale for super cheap, because I ain't looking to spend lots of money on anything. If you guys know, you know. So it's very expensive to live right now. Like just everything is so incredibly expensive. So yeah, I'm not looking to spend tons of money on everything. So yeah, that's the thing. And these hostas, there's some yellow leaves. I expect that. I just planted them again this year, or like literally like a month ago. Maybe not even a month ago. So they've not been planted that long. This one, the poor little leaves are broken off some, but again, that's okay. That's what happens sometimes. But it's going to flower, so that's kind of exciting, because a lot of times I've had hostas before that just like literally never flowered, so I'm kind of excited that they are going to flower. And then I got some marigolds just in a little pot here, a little basket, and I thought the basket was super cute, and I lined it with just like some landscape mesh type of thing, so all the soil wouldn't fall out. But I really love it. I think it's really, really cute. And when it gets, I don't know, winter time, whenever everything dies back, I won't replant baskets. And of course that's just fake flowers, because in the summer heat here in Texas, like you may have to water baskets 3 to 4 times a day, and heaven knows I don't have time for that. So you know what? Fake flowers, I'll take it. Whatever, that's fine. The hydrangeas take a little bit more water, but one nice thing about hydrangeas is they tell you when they want to be watered, because their leaves droop. So if you see a hydrangea and the leaves are really, really drooping, then you probably want to water it. That means it needs to be watered. So a hydrangea will do a great job of telling you when to water it. I've got my wisteria vine here that I have braided. So we're going to see how that turns out. I think it'll turn out nicely. And look, I did a little art project. Do you like my art project? So now we're going to go back over here and start watering some of these plants. This little lantana. I just bought it to replace one that didn't make it from all the stuff that I dug up. So one that didn't make it from everything I dug up is really pretty dang good, if you ask me. And so here, you don't have to have your hose on full strength here when you water stuff, obviously, but just FYI. The Dusty Miller is my daughter's favorite plant, so I always do some Dusty Miller, or at least I try to. Dusty Miller does really great here also, so that's really, really great. Another thing that does really great here is the rosemary. I love planting rosemary here. It does fantastic. And of course the daylilies. This one was just a little bitty sucker off of one of the other daylilies. I think it was off the Stella, but I'm not 100% for sure. But I'm loving the flowers on this one. Isn't it gorgeous? This is just so exciting to me. Like, I don't know if you guys get as excited about gardening as I do. And oh crap, I just like, see, sometimes that happens, but it's like 7 a.m. So if you get the leaves wet, it's 7 a.m. It's not terribly bad because they will dry off pretty quickly. And it's a slight chance of rain today, but not a very big chance, so I don't think it's going to rain. And again, I'm watering the plants where they need to be watered. So I'm not just letting a sprinkler system go. I mean, I think this is especially important the first couple of years as new plants are getting established, that you're not just letting a sprinkler system go and do its thing and what it wants to do. Because one, sprinkler system wastes a whole crap ton of water. And if you're in Texas, you know that water is of value here. We don't have a lot of water. So it is really good not to waste a whole lot of water on your gardening efforts. Or I have no grass, which I absolutely love. Like literally, oh crap, see, I'm just like stepping on plants and stuff. Don't worry, it will recover. Now, I'm trying very hard not to get the leaves wet here because of the fact that I have the lovely disease, the black spot. So it does have some black spot, it does have some powdery mildew. Again, I have been treating this, but still, it's one of those things, you know, that sometimes you just have to put up with. Is that you're going to have some disease, especially on roses like this. So you just have to know that you may need to treat it, especially here in North Texas, because it is harsh out here, people. So I'm just giving it a good little drink of water here. Again, none of this stuff will need a huge amount of water until, after it gets established, pretty much. So after it gets established, we're pretty good here. But until then, these plants are going to need watered. So here I'm just doing the dianthus. Some of it may be at the end of the flowering. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I have a hard time with dianthus wanting to reflower. Not all the time. Like after their first push. And I have a rabbit, so rabbit litter is great for plants, just FYI. It's used rabbit litter, I should say. Plants just absolutely love used rabbit stuff. So I do put out my rabbit pellets on my plants. Again, I'm really trying not to get the leaves wet here just because it's not great for the plants. So just FYI, if you have roses, at least try as best you can. It's really humid here in Texas, so try as best you can not to get the leaves like super wet when you water. And I know a lot of people don't want to get up earlier than they have to water, but it is important when you're establishing your plants to actually get up early and to water your plants. I know that that might not seem like a thing that's super important, but it is important. So here, this lantana is ones that I've dug up, and this is, I believe this is the Texas Gold here. From what I can remember, I do believe it's Texas Gold. So anyway, and then all the irises I've dug up from places in the yard, they were so bound that they really weren't flowering anymore. So now I've got them where most of them actually flowered this year, which is great. And then I cut them back after flowering. I didn't want to cut them back before they flowered though. And then we have our Artemisia here. And when it gets fall/winter, I'm going to cut the Artemisia back probably fairly hard, because Artemisia does tend, the straight form here does tend to get a bit leggy, and I don't want it to be like super leggy. And here I've got another rose. I need to look and see what kind of rose this is, because I don't remember off the top of my head. And then I've got, this one's a knockout. It shouldn't have that many problems with like diseases and stuff, because knockouts usually don't, but that one's not looking great. But again, I just planted it like, gosh, on Mother's Day, which for me right now, Mother's Day was, last weekend, I think. So this one's very, very newly planted. That's probably why it looks like it does. And it's a little bit late. Like some of this stuff now, it's late planting. Like springtime is not a great time to plant everything, just FYI. But, you know, it'll be that way sometimes. People, like the garden centers, get all their stuff in the springtime. So here, I have these Vitex that I had in pots for years. This one I need to put more soil around because the soil is eroding, and I do need to mulch it also. So that's going to be a thing. And then you see my irrigation system that I need to do more work on. Every time I turn a new valve on, I get one fixed, I turn a new one on, and I find another break. But that's how irrigation is. And by the way, don't work on your irrigation system if you're not a licensed irrigator. So make sure you know that. So these Vitex, they're not looking great right this second. You see how they're kind of curled up and everything. But they're Vitex. The Vitex are usually pretty easy, so I am convinced that it's going to come back. And so I have a canna, like one lonely little canna lily out here. So we're going to see how this thing does. Hopefully it'll do all right. I mean, it's green so far, right? And then I had some dianthus that I planted out here. It's really, really late to plant dianthus, so we'll see. I don't know if they're going to come up. They were on like super, super cheap discount, so I'm like, yeah, I'll try it and see. Dianthus do like sun, so we'll see if they come up. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. They were really, really, really cheap because they were just trying to get rid of them at the big box store, so, you know, be that way sometimes. And they were just the tubers, so they were in tuber form. Again, I've got to pile some more soil up for this poor thing because it is not looking great right now. And you see like my soil here, my soil is not like real soil. My soil here is like sand. It's the craziest thing. Like loads, look, if you see this, this is sand, like literally loads and loads of sand. So yeah, that's may not be the most fun thing. And of course, very, very important. Well, actually first I'm going to water all of these because these poor babies need water. This one was here last year. It may get a little too much sun right here, but I've had hydrangeas, the not just the oak leaf, but the mop heads like that. I've had them actually do well in all afternoon sun. I mean, this one obviously does get some shade. This rose gets a lot of sun right here on the corner, but since that one's tucked away, it does get some shade. The first year it really struggled. This year it actually looks much, much better than the first year. And then I have lots of wires, I mean not wires, but lots of old drip irrigation in here, or like micro sprays. So this is micro sprays irrigations, you can see right there. It's really old, and honestly I don't know how it works. So I mean, that's a lie. When I say I don't know how it works, I do know how micro sprays work. What I mean to say is I don't know if it actually works or not, because I haven't tried to do anything with it yet. So of course the rolling the hose up is always everybody's favorite chore, right? No, it's not really. Okay, but it's important. Don't leave all your hoses and crap out. This doesn't take just a couple of minutes to reel your hose back up. Make sure it's not sitting on other plants and all the other stuff. And again, this is going to be unedited videos, so this is like for real, what you need to do here in North Texas with your plants. I don't know if I could get a camellia to establish now, but it is gorgeous. The flowers are beautiful on this camellia, just by the way. So here I am. This one, look at this hydrangea. This is newly planted and it's literally about to flower. So I'm excited about that. That is an oak leaf hydrangea. I know that I'll have to keep it away from the house a bit, so it will require pruning, but that's okay. And this is my lantana and lots of other stuff over here. I have some herbs, some wandering Jew, and I really want this stuff to take over. So that is my goal here, is for all of this stuff to just kind of take over. This poor little sage here that's in the pot, my daughter wanted it, and she has like a little greenhouse. So she wants to put it in her greenhouse, but she has not done that quite yet. So one of those things that will definitely need to get done. And then I have lots of mint. I would say please don't plant your mint in the ground like this unless you want it to take over. Now, being that I have a massive stuff like that's a drop off there. And so I actually want my mint to take over. So yeah, if you want your mint to take over and cover everything up, plant mint. If you don't, then keep your mint in pots. But that's what I want to do. I want my mint to take over, so this is what I'm doing with it. Now, in reality, these plants really don't need much water here because they've been here for a long time. I inherited these plants when I moved in. So they've been here for a very long time. There's the Russian sage, which is beautiful, and of course lantana. This lantana gets a little bit too much shade, but it's still flowering and it's still nice. Now over here we're going to, that's too strong. So I expect these plants to go through some transplant shock, and this doesn't get very much done over here, if really much at all. But you know, that's the way it is, right? So I did plant stuff that can take lots of shade over here. This is an old rusted water shutoff valve to the house. Definitely don't want to ever use this shutoff valve. We want to shut the water off at the meter anytime. But that under there is a shutoff valve. So just giving this some water here. I mean, there's probably lots of thoughts about not getting your hydrangea leaves, you know, wet. But it's just getting established, and this doesn't have any real sun, so it's okay. Look, I got little grasshoppers. Aren't they cute? Look at the little grasshoppers. Oh my gosh, guys. They're so cute. All right, so that is it for watering right now. I hope you liked watering with me. This is like an every other day process, and then like this corner right here right now, this is pretty much going to be an everyday process throughout the summer, or at least until these get established some. Again, especially with this corner and with that area right there, it'll be the same thing just because it is so much sun right here, and I don't want everything to die. But you don't need everything on high when you water either. Look, there's my kitty cat. He's cute. He likes watching me water. You like watching mommy work in the yard, huh? I know you do. You like watching mommy work in the yard, huh, bud? I know you do, bud. Yeah, you're a good boy. I know you're my good boy. Yeah, you are. All right, so there's some weeds here that I'm going to go ahead and pull while I see them. And I have been fighting. This is the invasive form of Nandina. So the Nandina domestica, and I have been fighting this for like a year now, or a year and a half, trying to get rid of it inside this crepe myrtle because I cannot stand it. It's literally will take over everything. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel because I want to do live videos, and I need at least 50 subscribers to do live videos. So subscribe, and thanks for watching.